sure this is still rolling. Make sure this is rolling. Look at the back of the live view. Make sure it's rolling. Is this stuff moving?
Oh, yeah.
Go in there.
Bring them home!
Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home!
Excuse me.
Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home!
Bring them home!
One step back, my friends. One step back. Toward the garden.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Go there. Come with me. Come. Where are the
Thank
guards?
you, everyone. Thank you. It goes so much to the back. It takes time for them to hear us. We have here with us today all Gat, brother of the hostage Carmel Gat, who came here from Israel. It's extremely important for us that his voice will be heard very, very clearly. So please make sure you listen and that you put on social media and that everyone will hear what he has to say. Thank you all.
Hello, good morning. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for everyone that involved of making this happen. Thank you everyone for coming. I will speak louder, thank you. On this stage I want to ask for sorry. Ask for forgiveness from the hostages, the one that murdered and the one that's still alive. From Carmel, my sister, I'm asking sorry every day. Sorry that you're living your life as living hell right now. Sorry that you abducted to Gaza. Sorry that you saw the body of our mother after they shot a bullet inside her head. I'm sorry that you're threatened and not breathing, and that you are getting hit and probably worse things. And you probably feel that everyone gave up on you. Now, there is a slight opportunity to fix it all. We know the conditions for a deal. We know what needs to be done. We all took care of that. Administrations, government, the citizen of the world. We need to seize the moment. We need to take care of the one that abducted in Gaza and the one that can't live their life outside of Gaza. We need to take care of them all. We need to bring back the hostages now. It's an easy decision. We have right now the agreement of countries around the world with the last declaration of 17 countries that have hostages in Gaza saying, bring the hostages back now. Take them out. We can bring them back and stop the war. It's possible, and it's possible to do it now before another one is getting killed. Carmeli, we're sorry that we haven't succeeded yet. We are doing everything. We're waiting for everyone to see the value in life right now and not in other things. That's why we are here right now. My sister-in-law, Yarden, woman, she came back after 54 days to her daughter Geffen, 3.5 years old. She waited for her mother. She's now waiting for her aunt. Her grandmother is not coming back. We need to bring them back now. It's possible, as Yarden came back, Carmel can come back. Please help us. Please help us to do it now. Thank you very much.
Bring them home! Now! Alive! Them home! Now! Alive! Bring them home! Now! Alive!
Bring them home now, alive. 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 Bring them home now, alive.
Bring them home! Now! Alive! 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 Bring them home!
I want the media to know we have here flags of over 25 different countries because the hostages are coming from 25 different nationalities. They're coming from 5 different religions. We have Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, Buddhist hostages. This is not an inner Jewish or Israeli problem. This is a global catastrophe, and world leaders should step up and do what they should to bring them all home. We have flags here from all over the world because the hostages are from all over the world. Bring them home now!
Bring them home!
Now!
Bring them home! Now! Bring them home! Now!
Bring them home now!
Bring them home!
Now!
Bring them home!
Now!
Bring them home!
Now!
Bring them home!
Now! Bring them home now!
Bring them home!
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 Now!
I want to invite our next speaker, President of the Manhattan Bureau, Mark Levine. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Hi everybody, I am Mark Levine, Manhattan Borough President. I wish you could see what I see right now. We have over 1,000 people out here who have come to support the hostages. It's beautiful, the diversity, the energy, thank you. In times of crisis, great leaders emerge. Shani Gonot Lubeton is a great leader. Thank you, Shani and Omer. I just want to say a few words in Hebrew to the family, and you will say, להגיד מספר מילים בעברית, קודם כל. למשפחות החטופים, לאור יקיר שלנו. אני רוצה שתדעו שפה בניו יורק אנחנו לא שוכחים. אנחנו לא נוותר. ולא נפסיק להילחם עד שכל אחד ואחד מהחטופים הביתה בשלום. אנחנו מבטיחים. That is our promise.
עכשיו!
עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו!
עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו!
I am actually going to say some things.
עכשיו! עכשיו! עכשיו!
Despite the culture war which has broken out here on this campus, around this city and country over the past weeks, you have heard very little mention of the 133 men, women, and children, old and young, seniors, people with disabilities, who are held in captivity by Hamas without the basic decency of wellness checks, of medical care, with documented cases of sexual abuse. This is happening now. Where is the global outrage? There are hostages from 25 countries. Where is the global outrage? There are at least 5 hostages who are our fellow Americans still in captivity. Where is the American outrage?
Yes!
Even if you have no basic sympathy for these human beings, you must concede. We demand that you concede that the single most impactful act that would help bring about an end to this horrific conflict is the immediate release of all the hostages. This was a conflict that started because of the horrific seizure of these hostages. It's a conflict that has a chance of ending upon their release. This is, without a doubt, one of the worst mass hostage takings in modern world history.
Yes!
And we are not going to let the world look away from this. We're not going to let America or New York or Morningside Heights turn away from this.
Yes!
We're going to be out here as long as it takes. 200 days in, we'll be out here again and again and again. We're going to be out here as Jewish New Yorkers, as Israelis in New York, as secular and religious people, as non-Jewish allies, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Buddhist, atheist, all of us out here with one simple, powerful message. Bring them home! 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 Thank you very much.
Bring them home! Bring them home!
What do we want? All of them. When do we want them? Now. What do we want?
All of them!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
All of them!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
All of them!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
All of them!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
All of them!
When do we want them?
Now!
I want to invite our next speaker, TV personality, best-selling author, activist, and an amazing businesswoman, Julia Hart.
Hi, everybody.
Now!
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. That is what the world hears when we demand the hostages back. That is what the world hears when Jewish women speak about being raped, tortured, and sexually abused when they were in captivity. Blah, 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 blah. That is everybody, that's what they're hearing. And those of you who are standing here, I guarantee you, you have looked at your neighbors, at your friends, in complete disbelief. What is happening to the world? It feels like we're living in an upside down Alice in Wonderland time, when right is wrong and wrong is right. We have given the world so much proof as to what's going on to the hostages. We have had women speak out about acts of cruelty that I cannot even say out loud. And yet, what do we see? What do they hear? Blah, blah, blah. There you go. Why? Why? So, okay, I want us to know the why. Because without the why, we cannot bring them home. Without the why, we cannot end this war. So I want to understand the why. And here we go. Woo!
We love
All
you,
right.
Julia!
In the 1920s in this country, Henry Ford bought a newspaper, called it The Dearborn Independent, and published the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. By the way, in 2002, these books, which basically state that Jews control the world, you know what? It is the dumbest thing ever. There's only 16 million of us. Everybody attacks us and we're the ones who are supposed to control that. It's ludicrous. He went and said that the biggest issue in America is the Jewish problem. Columbia University, every major university in this country, in 1933, started sending students to Nazi Germany. College administrators got on boats with Nazi flags and went to Germany. As late as the last minute before the war, there was a student exchange program between Nazis and Jews. Think about that. Between Nazis and universities. Think about that. We read about Qatar. We read about all these people funding the university. It's much deeper than that. It goes much, much deeper. Hatred of Jews has been around since time immemorial. And this country has a history of destroying the Jewish people. This country has a history of turning away Jews who came on a boat escaping Nazi Germany, knowing they were sending them back into death. I want to read to you something that happened in 2002, not in 1912, not in 1855. In the University of Manchester's student union declared that anti-Zionism isn't anti-Semitism. A leaflet from the General Union of Palestinian Students, quoting a neo-Nazi forgery entitled "The Prophecy of Ben Franklin" in regard to the Jewish race, described Jews as vampires, and said that if Jews were not expelled from the USA, they would enslave the country and destroy its economy. When they failed to pass their motion to absolutely boycott all Israeli products, what did they do? They put posters all over the university saying, "Slaughter the Jews." In 2006, a parliamentary inquiry into anti-Semitism reported when left-wing or pro-Palestinian discourse is manipulated and used as a vehicle for anti-Jewish language and themes. In 2003, you have Patrick Klugman, a French student, who said that the climate has been so difficult and that in the name of the Palestinian cause, they are castigated as if they were Israeli soldiers. We hear death to the Jews during demonstrations that are supposed to be pro-Palestine. The why is that we have been complacent. The why is that this has been going on for tens and tens of years. They have been planning this day for the last 100 years. Yes. They have been sowing the seeds of hatred, of anti-Semitism, calling Jews vampires in 2002. We had all the warnings. And when I say we, I mean me. My son went to Columbia University. Every day he would come home and tell me, "Ima, this happened to me that was anti-Semitic. A teacher humiliated a Jewish student. A teacher called Israel an apartheid state." And you know what I said? All right, there's always going to be people who hate Jews. I was complacent. We were complacent. And there is only one way to bring the hostages home. And that is every Jewish person, every ally of the Jewish people, every Iranian woman who knows what it's like to live under Hamas and Hezbollah.
Yes.
When the Iranian women marched, I spoke and led the march in Washington, D.C. in their support. Do you know what they marched against? They marched against the same laws that Hamas imposes, against the fact that they cannot travel, marry, have a profession without a man's permission. This is what university students are calling freedom? This is what university students want? Shame! 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 I want us to think about World War II in a different way. When did the war end? When did Germany surrender? When it couldn't protect its citizens anymore. When their army couldn't fight. Who was supposed to surrender now? How do you stop the innocent slaughter of Muslims, of Palestinians, of Jews? It's simple. Surrender Hamas, bring home every fucking single hostage. That's how you end the war.
Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home!
I want to leave one message to all those students marching in what is now clear and obvious is not pro-Palestinian. It's just fucking anti-Jewish. But I want them to think about one thing. The freedom that they're quote-unquote fighting for is Sharia law. The girls in those colleges who are sitting there in their tank top and their shorts would be fucking arrested in Hamas rule. The students, do you know that under Sharia law, a man can marry off his 13-year-old without her permission? Do you know that in Sharia law, if a woman refuses her husband sex, he has no legitimacy to take care of him? This is what they're fighting for. The only way to stop this is to scream in every corner, not to be afraid. I ask the people who are not here, I ask the people who have kept silent, I ask every person to bring them home!
Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home!
How do you hear better? Like this?
Or like this.
First one? Okay. I want to invite to our so-called stage Liat Korin, cousin of Omer Shem Tov, and a dear friend of all of us who's been fighting for her cousin's life for the past 6 months. Liat, thank you for being here with us. Hello. I wish I could say good morning, but it's not a good morning. It feels like one long, nightmarish day that began 203 days ago. Thank you all for being here, for supporting us. I see your faces, I see your emotion, and I can't thank you enough for standing here beside us, in front of us, and surrounding us with your strength. 203 days. If you can imagine it, I still can't grasp it. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Liat Corinne Unger, and I am also a former alumnus of this institution, of Columbia University, the university that I dreamed of attending because of its values of cultural diversity, of improving communication, of finding sustainable solutions, of promising to work to empower students for a better education, to empower us to create a more just and equitable world for the future. Those are part of the mission statements of Columbia University. I know them because I attended here for those reasons. What I see is happening on campus
is a direct violation of Columbia University's mission statement. On October 7th, thousands of people became victims of terror, including myself. More importantly, what we're here today for, Omer Shem Tov and 132 innocent human beings from different nationalities, from different races, from different religions. Our active terror may have ended on October 7th, but they are still victims of terror, being terrorized on a daily basis for 203 days. We are all standing here united as Jews, as Muslims, as Sikhs, as Christians, to demand one thing: to bring them home. But we cannot forget that there is discourse, there is noise, there is hostility on these universities, on Columbia University, my alma mater. But I will share with you that I still have hope. I have hope, and I was taught that hope in the darkest of days. In November, a ceasefire deal was achieved. It ended hostilities temporarily, nonetheless, and secured the release of over 100 innocent human beings that got to come home. Among those innocent human beings, Itai and Maya Regev, who were kidnapped with Omer. They shared that Omer maintained his steadfast hope and faith while in the darkness of Hamas tunnels. He rationed his food, saved grape juice, scraped salt from the pretzel bread he was given, rationed the quarter pita, and made kiddush. He maintained his faith in the darkness. And so, as dark as it feels today for me, as hard as it is for me to stand here before you, I am here to bring the hope that I feel that's shared to me by Itai. Omer maintains his hope. And so my hope here is that I demand, and I believe that every single person standing here today, including the people in the encampment, I hope this message is for you. If you truly believe that innocents need to stop suffering on both sides, if you're pro-Palestinian, the key to end the suffering can only begin and end with the release of Omer Shem Tov and 132 of our brothers and sisters in captivity. So I demand that if you believe in human life, if you stand for humanity, you will demand to bring them home and let my people go! Bring them home! 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 Bring them home!
Let our people go! Let our people go! Let our people go! Let our people go!
What do we want?
All of them!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
All of them!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
All of them!
When do we want them?
Now!
What do we want?
All of them!
When do we want them?
Now!
You know, sometimes it feels like people don't understand why we rally for the hostages here outside Columbia University, as if the president of Columbia can bring them home. Of course not. But it's been unbearable for us, the people who live here, who study here, that this entire discourse ignores the fact that there are still 133 hostages. All the media is here, all the politicians are here, everyone is talking and fighting each other, and no one says one word about the fact that there are still 133 hostages in Gaza. We are here to remind everyone, every solution to everyone's suffering goes only through releasing all of them. All of them. Bring them home now.
Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home. Bring them home now. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home.
I want to invite Patricia, actress and activist, who's been so kind to stand here with us. Thank you, Patricia. Hello. Hi. My name is Patricia Heaton. I'm an actress, I'm a Christian, and I'm the founder of O7C, the October 7 Coalition, Christians United to stand visibly and vocally in support of the Jewish people. To stand for the right of Israel to exist, and to fight anti-Semitism wherever it is found. On October 7th, I was astonished at the footage I saw online. The gleeful savagery and butchery of innocent people, innocent, loving Israelis, many who had spent their lives trying to help Palestinians. Equally as barbaric is that Hamas took so many people hostage, 133 of whom are still held captive in dark tunnels. The youngest, Ariel and Kafir Bibas. Kafir turned 1 in captivity. And when it happened, I looked around for the outrage, and it wasn't there. I posted on Instagram, and the thought was, gee, if I had been a German during World War II, I hope I would have been that good German who helped my Jewish neighbors. I told my followers, friends, today you have the opportunity to be the good German. I am a mother of 4 sons. I cannot imagine the anguish that people like Orr and Rachel Goldberg go through every day, knowing that their loved ones are suffering in this inhumane way, starving, being sexually assaulted, medically deprived, feeling fearful and alone. And yet they are disappearing from the conversation. Haters rip their posters down, protesters talk about free speech, our representatives argue about funding for Israel. And still these opposite people, these innocent people, sit in the dark. On campuses across the country, not one protesting student mentions the hostages. So it is up to us to continue efforts to keep the hostages in front of mind. This is not just about politics, it's about real human beings. You heard Orr talk about his sister having to live with the memory of the brutal murder of his mother, and Carmel still being a hostage. Just Christians, I am asking you, put yourself in Orr's shoes. Imagine yourself seeing your mother lying dead on the ground. Imagine trying to get through your day knowing that the same murderers are holding your sister captive. Try to imagine living a normal life while waiting for and hoping
hoping that your family will be returned. As the founder of the October 7 Coalition, I urge Christians everywhere to stand for the hostages and for their families. St. Paul wrote in his letter to the Ephesians, "Put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything, to stand." America must stand for Israel and stand for the hostages. I am urging Christians particularly everywhere, go to the website, Bring Them Home Now, and print posters of the hostages. Pastors, churches, hand them out to your congregation and ask your families to pray for the hostages. Find places to display the posters, windows, cars, on the back of your laptop. Call your representatives. Demand that they do all they can to free the hostages now and end this conflict. After World War II, some people may have been able to use the excuse, "We didn't know." We don't have that excuse today. We know, and we must stand and shout for the hostages until they are brought home. So be the good German. Do your part. Bring them home now.
Bring them home now! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home! Bring them home!
Bring them home now!
Now! Now! Now!
Liat Corinne Unger, who just spoke, Omer Shem Tov's cousin, wanted everyone to know, and I hope that there are some Columbia students who hear me, that she will open a table and will be open for a discourse with anyone who wants to speak after this rally. So if anybody wants to speak, she's open to any conversation. I want to invite Dana Zweigreich, co-founder of the New York Hostage Family Forum and a student for MPA grad.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dana. I'm one of the leaders of the Hostages and Families Forum here in New York, and I'm an MPA student here at Columbia. It was my dream to study at this place. I can't even express in words the joy I felt when I got the news that I was accepted into this establishment. I've been a student here for 2 years now. There's many room. I was a student here. I was so excited to study here because I was looking forward to having a discourse, to having constructive dialogue about many things, including the Middle East. There's much room to talk about this war. There's place for discourse, for destructive discourse. There is no place to question what happened to the Israeli people on October 7th. There is no place to question the fact that we have 133 hostages still in captivity.
Yes.
On the week of October 7th, with some of my friends from Columbia, I put on display all the posters of the hostages. Within a mere 10 hours, all those posters were taken down.
Shame.
So I'm here to remind Columbia University, the international community, and mostly my fellow classmates, the people who I've been in school with for the past 2 years, who are now protesting in these encampments inside the university. We want peace. We want a ceasefire. But in order for a ceasefire to be achieved, we need to let the hostages go. So I'm reminding my fellow classmates something that they may have overlooked. In order for there to be a ceasefire, all 133 hostages need to be home. Bring them home now, alive. Bring them home now, alive.
Bring them home now, alive. Bring them home now, alive. Bring them home now, alive.
Alive now. 2 days ago, we got a video of Hirsch Goldberg, Poland, a video that Hamas released. For many of us, it was a moment of relief because we all knew that Hirsch was taken severely wounded and we didn't know whether he survived. This is Hirsch Goldberg, Poland. You see him before and after. He was severely wounded. His arm was blown off, but he managed to survive, and he's still in captivity. When we chant, bring them home alive, is because we know many of the hostages were wounded and are being under life threat daily. We demand to bring them now because time is running out. Time has run out. We need them home in order for them to stay alive. It is too dangerous for them to stay there. We demand world leadership, Qatar, Egypt, US, Israel government, UN, all parties involved, to do everything in their power to bring them home. And I want to say the sentence that Rachel Goldberg Poland, Hirsch's mother, said after she saw this video of her son after 201 days that she didn't see her son. She addressed global leadership and said, "Be brave, lean in, seize the moment, get the deal done. Bring them home now!
Bring them home now! Bring them home now! Bring them home now! Bring them home now! Bring them home now! Bring them home now! Bring them home now!
I want to invite Daniela Simons, an undergrad student at Columbia University.
Go, Daniela. You guys are awesome.
"203 days. It has been 203 days since October 7th, a day none of us will ever forget. That day marked the largest massacre against the Jewish people since the Holocaust. We all know well the evils of that day, and the nightmare continues now as we witness in real time the horrors being taken against our people. But today, we will not let injustice overshadow our mission of hope. The atrocities committed by Hamas and their allies will not dominate this space. Today, we reclaim the word Zionist, a word which has been used against us like a slur. We are proud to be Zionists.
Yes!
Woo! We are proud to be Zionists. And we stand behind the Jewish decolonization of our ancestral homeland. We have a right to live in our homeland, and we will not let our dream falter. Since the beginning of Jewish history, Jews have faced violent persecution, whether at the hands of the Egyptians, Babylonians, Assyrians, Romans, Greeks, or Nazis. The Jewish people have endured adversity unlike any other. But we've overcome time and time again, all while retaining our beautiful tradition and our unity. Today, we stand here as proud Zionists. Unafraid to confront the age-old anti-Semitism that has reared its ugly head from the shadows yet again. Our hearts and our minds are with our hostages, our brothers and sisters who live every day in the forefront of our minds. We're gathered here at Columbia University, a place that for all of us once represented intellectual diversity and growth. But now it has become a poisonous cesspool of hatred and violence against our people. But regardless, we are here. And we are not afraid of the angry mob who stand before us. We are united, we are hopeful, we're brave, and we stand for light, we stand for truth. We are here filled with longing, yearning for our loved ones to be freed. We are their voice when they do not have the privilege to speak. Our current situation relates directly to the story of this holiday, Passover, in which God rescues the Jewish people from brutal slavery in Egypt after hundreds of years. The famous line of Moses, "Let my people go," has never felt more relevant than in this moment. A nation broken and beaten is redeemed from their suffering. We are saved, unified, and freed from the shackles we had tied to our bodies and our hearts. Today, we have rebuilt our home in Israel for ourselves through hard work and sacrifice, and our dream of peace and serenity after hundreds of years of persecution. We are one nation with one heart. Am echad, belev echad. As we celebrate Pesach, an integral part of our nation's story, we must remember another story, our story of continued resilience. V'hi she'amda. In every generation, they rise to destroy us, but God saves us from their hands. Just 2 weeks ago, Iran launched an unprecedented attack with 331 missiles and drones against Israel, yet not a single fatality occurred. This was a radical demonstration of God's protection and a statistical impossibility. In the aftermath of October 7th, we will not accept baseless hatred or hatred disguised by flawed moral gymnastics. We will not fear those who deny our right to exist, and we will not let them bully us to surrender our rights to academic success and basic respect. Never again.
Never again.
Jean-Paul Sartre, the French philosopher, wrote, "The anti-Semite has chosen hate because hate is a faith. And like in any faith, its zealots and practitioners cannot be moved by logic, facts, or good faith argument. They have chosen their conviction. To betray it would be to betray themselves. This does not mean the anti-Semite cannot go unchallenged. We will not be pushed out, not from Columbia University, not from the United States, and certainly certainly not from our indigenous homeland, Israel. No matter the hatred or lies thrown at us, we are here. We will pray, fight, and advocate for the release of every single hostage. For every poster torn down, we will only speak louder and spread more hope, love, and light. We are not Jews with trembling knees. I stand firmly here today for the hostages, for our brave soldiers, and for our unified nation worldwide. Let us remember who we are, what we stand for, and where we come from. Our identity has always been strong and prevalent, and we will not be told who we are by others. Our unity will yet again propel us through these trying times, as it always has throughout history. Am Yisrael arevim ze lezeh. All of Israel is responsible for one another. May we have the strength to keep spreading light, to keep advocating, rallying, and uniting until every last hostage is freed and home. Am Yisrael Chai!
Am Yisrael Chai!
We're just going to hear a few words from Assembly Member Blumenkreuz. Please stay with us.
Thank you, and thank you, Danielle. There is still some good at this university, as we just saw. But what I'd like to continue that we all do is call on Governor Hochul, who came here and still hasn't deployed the National Guard to remove this hate from this campus and finally make this school safe for Jewish students. Why don't Jews matter? Why don't Jews matter to those in power here? And I think we all know, for an institution of higher learning, there is far too much ignorance in this institution. We must call on every single one of our state representatives to get a special session to make sure we make our campuses safe for every single Jew and every student. Woo! Bring them home. Bring them home.
Bring them home! 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 Bring them home!
Political science.
Bring them home!
I want to read the names of all 133 hostages, and for you to answer now after each name. Idan.
No!
Hamza.
No!
Yusef.
No!
Matan.
No!
Yehud.
No!
Noah.
No!
Karina.
No!
Ohad.
No!
Ron.
No!
Agam.
No!
Gali.
No!
Ziv.
No!
Ariel.
No!
Kfir.
No!
Shiri.
No!
Yarden.
No!
Elkana.
No!
Rom.
No!
Yegev.
No!
Amit.
No!
Sagi.
No!
Emily.
No!
Nimrod.
No!
Elia.
No!
Ariel.
No!
David.
No!
Alex.
No!
Ori.
No!
Abiatar.
No!
Mor.
No!
Liri.
No!
Itzik.
No!
Said.
No!
Carmel.
No!
Daniela.
No!
Guy.
No!
Itzik.
No!
Hirsch.
No!
Romy.
No!
Maxim.
No!
Orion.
No!
Eitan.
No!
Yair.
No!
Sachi.
No!
Almog.
No!
Ofer.
No!
Segev.
No!
Bar.
No!
Andrei.
No!
Naama.
No!
Or.
No!
Eliakim.
No!
Oded.
No!
Sulasak.
No!
Alex.
No!
Joshi.
No!
Shlomo.
No!
Omri.
No!
Gadi.
No!
Abraham.
No!
Omer.
No!
Samir.
No!
Michael.
No!
Sontaya.
No!
Yosef.
No!
Alon.
No!
Abinatan.
No!
Dror.
No!
Adisa.
No!
Natapor.
No!
Nadav.
No!
Sudisak. Matan, Parinya, Pongsak, Alexander, Sariun, Omer, Hanan, Ohad, Dolev, Eden, Matan, Shlomi, Chaim, Amiram, Yoram. And I'm going to read the names of the hostages that were murdered in Gaza while they were in captivity. Uriel Baruch, Daniel Peretz, Itai Chen, Oz Daniel, Yair Yaakov, Meni Godard, Ran Gvili, Oren Goldin, Shai Levinson, Tamir Adar, Tomer Achmias, Yonatan Mordechai Samerano, Ronen Engel, Aviv Atzili, Sar Baruch, Kirill Brodetsky, Maya Goren, Gadi Chagai, Invar Haiman, Asaf Hamami, Eliyahu Margalit, Guy Iluz, Tal Chaimi, Ravid Katz, Itai Svirsky, Shani Lok, Shaked Dahan, Yossi Sharabi, Judy Weinstein, Joshua Loito, Ofra Keidar, Eitan Levy, Ilan Weiss, Ariel Zalmanovich, and the hostages that were taken before October 7th, Hadar Goldin, Avera Mangisto, Oron Shaul, Isham Shabed El Sayed. We are here, all of us standing for them and for their families, for them to return home as soon as possible. Now, yesterday, time has run out and we need them home. This is the only solution to everyone's suffering. Bring them home alive now. Bring them home now. Bring them home.
Bring them home.
Alive now.
Bring them home alive now.
Bring them home alive now. Bring them home alive now. Bring them home alive now. Bring them home alive now.
I want to invite Kusha Dillis, the rapper. I'm sure a lot of you already know him both from Instagram and his videos. And he's been so active for the hostages since October 7th, and we thank him so much for being here with us. Thank you.
All right. Look it up. How do I get up here? Okay. What's up, New York City? How you guys doing? Okay. So I made a song on October 7th called Bring the Family Home. We're trying to hook it up here, and it's really cool to see New York City show up. So let's get it. All right, here we go. Turn this on, turn this on. Hey, yo, Mike, put your hands in the air like this, yo. We gonna do it like this. My name is Coach Deals. Let's get it, yo. Okay, from Kanye to Hamas, it's all the same. Namaste, synagogue to Hamas, prayer heal pain. I march for BLM, I march for Ukraine, but this time me and my people in the negative rain. See, I used to get punched in the face, but now I do the punching. My family heated, cause most of us died in the ovens. I went from what the F they discussing and shit disgusting. Now I'm hiding from the enemy. Children can't eat school lunches. Addicted to your internet and shares the sickest image. I put my yarmulke on, not even religious with it. Grandparents, women, and children, you terrorists couldn't get on. Pissed off, I'd rather be a man today. So I say bye then, take the billions, then I ran away. Guess what? I got time to talk to fans today. Where's God? Who gon' believe in us? Y'all play protective. Figure out the media, cause every click make a little money off the hype. Roger Water suck my ass, rest of y'all life. 50 years since YK Columbia. Yo, put your hands up from the morning till night. Bring the family home, we got the world saying. Sign of death, they can't sleep, that's the worst pain. Yeah, we gonna vibe to it. Now put your hands in the air, we gonna sing it like this. Come on, bring the family home, we got the world saying. Cry to death, they can't sleep, that's the worst pain. I remember tonight, the night the world changed. The light just rolled, y'all can't hurt me. This is for social justice, keyboard, what about us? For every family member murdered who wasn't counted. I rise up for peace, history shows that I offer first. When it comes to context, that's a new trigger word. The victory is ours, I know my people know the time. Y'all believe in coexistence, but believe in being co-signed. The images are graphic, I don't need to be reminded. Don't share a fake infographic, new form of violence. I'm trying to be the great one. Dear allies, don't be the fake one. Wrote your name down, it's time to wake up. Stop using a lot of money and media clicks. And me and Khalifa, I hope you choke on dead terrorists. Bring the family home, we got the world saying.
saying, sing it, bring the family home. We got the world saying, sing it, bring the family home. We got the world saying, sing it, bring the family home. And everybody say, yeah, bring the family home. We got the world saying, bring the family home. We got the world saying, sing it, bring the family home. We got the world saying, bring the family home. My name is Coach Neils. Thank you, New York City. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. Can I say a quick story? Cool. I met somebody here. I started filming interviews. If you guys know the interviews, I filmed it here. And the first place I filmed, and I never did an interview, was at Columbia University. First person we interviewed ripped down the posters. The second person we met was a kid named Eli Mizrahi. He's a Libyan Jew. He goes to school here. Shout out to him. He said 2 of his relatives were kidnapped. And I said, how crazy is it that you're walking around New York City, you just met 2 kids randomly on a street corner that 2 of his family members were kidnapped from the Nova Festival. After visiting Israel 3 times and interviewing everybody, I met and I performed at a hospital called Sheba Hospital. And I ended up performing for a girl named Maya Regev, and that girl was one of his cousins that was freed. So if you don't think what you're doing out here is meaningful, and every person you talk to and every next person you tell that you're helping people, it is about the hostages, because I met someone right here at Columbia University that goes to school here, and I met one of the hostages that was freed. Am Yisrael Chai. Thank you.
Put your flags and signs high. And photographers, can we get some photos of all this beautiful crowd with the flags and signs high? I want to remind everybody do their job and bring them home. We care about all lives. We care about Palestinian lives and about Jewish lives. And we remind everyone that the only way to end the suffering is by releasing all of them. We're going to sing a tikva now. We're going to do it very loud and proud. Thank you for being here with us this morning, and join the Hostages Families Forum here in New York for many activities. You can scan the barcode. We march in Central Park, so please join us on Sundays, 11 a.m., 90th Street and Central Park West. We march in Central Park together for the hostages. Join us. Thank you everyone for coming, and may we have some good news this weekend. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And thank you NYPD. Thank you so much.
Bring them home. Bring them home.
In the beginning, like that, I get things on Getty, sometimes in the Washington Post. I'll be glad to send you a photo.